Welcome back to the channel, Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and in this video, we're taking a look at this week's official prices. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. So we have our pre-orders coming out this week. A couple of cool ones, some big boxes, some accessories, all kinds of good stuff. But let's go ahead and take a look at the USD and Canadian prices as well. So the Lord of the Rings Battle of Osgiliath. We've already seen all the information on this. This has been in and out of pre-order for quite some time. From what I understand and the feedback from Lord of the Rings players, this is a great set. The terrain looks good. The forces look good. There's some new unique models in it. It has everything you need to play. This box set coming in line with what you would expect from Games Workshop at $210 for this set. That is 210 USD or 250 Canadian. So I think this is a pretty nice setup to split with a friend or something like that if you want to give the game a try. From what I understand, the actual mechanics of the game are excellent and it plays really nicely. Something you don't always see from Games Workshop games. So it is loaded up with some cool minis, and honestly, I really like the terrain. If it was scaled just slightly larger, I think it would go really well with like Warcry and Sigmar. All right, so moving on down here, we had the Middle-earth Strategy Battle Game Rules Manual. Very cool cover on this. Definitely a fan of the old all-seeing eye of Sauron on here. So this is $60 USD or also $75 Canadian. And this is a hardback book, nice and chunky, loaded with rules. So for whatever reason, these did not make it on the price list. So I do not have the prices on these. And I'm really not sure what the Middle-earth dice normally sell for. And the ring bearers as well, those are coming from Forgeworld, so we won't have the price on those until the day of. These are cast in clear resin directly from Forgeworld. Next we have Grinkrak's Looncourt. So these guys are super cool. I am definitely a fan of these. The Underworld warbands are some of the best models made by Games Workshop and really just show the potential for what's out there for each of these ranges. And I think on a long enough time frame, we'll eventually get this kind of like awesome models taking over all of our like basic troops in the ranges. So for these bad boys, the Underworld's Grinkrak's Looncourt is $42 USD, right in line with what we would expect and our previous sets, and then $53 Canadian. And that does include your cards as well as these awesome 7 models. And then we have the Fearsome Fortress. So the Fearsome Fortress card pack is $29 USD or 34 Canadian. And this is the newest Arrivals deck. All right, and then we have the Kill Team Critical Ops Tactical Ops Mission cards. So I'm still kind of split on these. I'm not sure exactly where I sit. I think depending if you're more playing like open or match play, these may be like a little more relevant for people. One of the commenters brought up a really good point that I hadn't considered yet. If you did purchase the Recruit Edition, you don't have any of the Tac Ops or like mission cards or anything. So I could see how this would actually be really good for somebody that has started off Kill Team that way. So these are $32 USD for the card pack or 36 Canadian. It doesn't tell us exactly how many are in here. It seems like probably 9 different mission cards, and then your updated Tac Ops, and then also like your actual like deployment cards as well. We'll see. It seems like a nice set. I think this is the type of thing where once you have it in your hands and open it up, it has a lot more usefulness or selling points. I do like the idea of not having all your books like folded out on the table and just taking up like a ton of space. So if you can have essentially your book closed and just 1 or 2 of these cards face up showing you the important stuff like how to score or where the objectives need to go, etc. It definitely takes away a little bit of the clutter. So there's definitely some play on these. I'm not sure if I'm 100% sold on them, but always hearing back from the community and like different point of views from people really helps me to make sure I'm keeping a fair and balanced view on the products as well. And now a quick message from this week's sponsor. This video is sponsored by CMOGames.com, where you can get 15% off most Games Workshop pre-orders, and they go live right at midnight Saturday mornings. CMOGames.com offers free shipping on orders over $25 in the US 48, and most orders ship within 24 hours. CMOGames.com has been selling Games Workshop products online for more than 20 years, and customer service is their top priority. CMOGames.com carries the full line of Games Workshop products, including 40k, Age of Sigmar, Kill Team, Warcry, paints, hobbies, and tools.
Visit cmogames.com using the affiliate link in the description below so they know you heard about cmogames.com from Warhammer Man Studios. Now, back to the video.
All right, and then scrolling down here to the Horus Heresy Legions Astartes Scorpion Missile Tank. This thing is absolutely phenomenal. It looks great. I'm a huge fan of this tank. I like the old Forgeworld one, and this honestly is just even better and in plastic, so you know it's going to fit perfect. Really, really big fan of this thing. I think I'm going to be picking this up. Not sure, maybe I'll just use it for a regular whirlwind or something like that, but this is just a super, super cool model. And honestly, the pricing on the Horus Heresy stuff is phenomenal as well. This is coming in at $60 USD or 75 Canadian. And a lot of like the newer range tanks, especially like the Sisters of Battle stuff, comes in closer at like 80 or 85. So seeing these things at $60, man, really makes me feel like I'm missing out sometimes on Horus Heresy because I feel like the pricing is phenomenal. So very, very cool. Definitely a big fan. And who knows, I have a feeling one day this ends up in my collection, replacing my conversion. And then next we have our White Dwarf 483. So it doesn't do a great job telling us exactly what's in here, unfortunately. But we do know White Dwarf is $11 or $14 Canadian. I'm sure there's a bunch of cool stuff in here. There's a couple things listed. But to tell you the truth, a lot of times recently I have noticed that there's cool stuff that would have made me maybe buy the White Dwarf that wasn't listed, so I didn't even know it was in there, therefore didn't even pick it up. All right, and then we have a bunch of like their licensed different products here. Don't have official prices on any of this stuff. Some people had let me know that a lot of this is already available on eBay. I'm not sure if these were previously out in other countries and now they're coming to the USA, or if just people got a hold of them early. But you can find out prices and see a little more information on them. I don't know much about these. They're not particularly appealing to me as well. But, you know, I felt the same way about the stickers, and people went crazy for the stickers. So who knows? People might be going crazy for these as well. Looks like it has some pretty cool art. I'm sure it's going to be a nice product, but again, I can't really speak on it. And then we got a couple of these little Munchkin games and some merch right here as well. But that is it for this week's official prices. So it looks like pretty much everything right in line with what we would expect. Some cool stuff, a couple things that we didn't get prices on because it's Forgeworld, or like the dice just for whatever reason didn't show up. But I gotta say, this is a super awesome tank. Very, very cool to see that. And honestly, the more stuff they reveal from Forgeworld, it really seems like Games Workshop basically asked me, hey, make a list of all the cool kits that you want to see come over from Forgeworld in terrible resin into awesome plastic, and we'll go ahead and just do that because they have basically picked all of my favorite units, and I know probably a lot of other people it's their favorite units as well. I'm really, really looking forward to the first like big thing they do. I really, really hope that we see a plastic Thunderhawk gunship and eventually just all the cool stuff from Forgeworld. So very cool. Definitely open up a little bit more about these. I am tempted to pick them up and check them out so that I can give other people an accurate depiction as to what's in here and let you know honestly, hey, who are these for and who are they a little too redundant for? And then, of course, I don't play Underworlds myself, but very popular. I think people are going to be really excited for these guys. I have a feeling that these are going to find their way into a bunch of different stuff, whether it's warcry, Underworlds, or, you know, just like a little cool diorama. I have a feeling that these things are going to be all over the place because they are just awesome, awesome models. And then finally, for the Lord of the Rings players out there, I know there's been quite a build-up for this new Osgiliath set, and it is finally here. Well, almost. It's finally here again for pre-order, but should be out very, very soon, and people are going to be playing this. I did already see the set all painted up and set up, and it does look phenomenal. Really, really nice set right here. So I know the Lord of the Rings players got to be excited for this one. Not really my style. I'm not a big fan of the smaller scale models. Also, Lord of the Rings is cool, but honestly, I would much rather just play one more of the Warhammer games, whether it's 40k, Sigmar, or one of the skirmish games, etc. But for those of you that are out there, let me know what you're most excited about. What are you going to be picking up? Are there any surprises on the pricing? I think pretty much everything came in with what we would expect. And we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Always like hearing back from you guys. Special shout out to our sponsor, CMO Games. Thank you very much for sponsoring these videos. Appreciate it. And so far have heard really positive things, not only from the community, but also from CMO as far as results. So thank you all for using that code, letting CMO Games know exactly how much we appreciate them, and look forward to more awesome discounts and sponsored videos. Well, that's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.